In today's eMoney tip of the week, I'm going to go into part 3 of my series on the Decision Center updates. Again, as I've said the previous 2, this is being filmed in October 2022. Most of you saw these updates happen somewhere circa the end of 2021. I personally saw most of these updates happen in the spring of 2022. I use LPL's version of eMoney, and they're going to, depending on which version of eMoney, they're going to release these updates at different times. But let's hop into it. This is Pam and Jim Helpert, one of my favorite sample clients that I've built out. We're going to hop right into Decision Center. So in the previous 2 videos, if you go back and look, and I apologize, we had a major storm in my area, and my internet's a little bit shoddy today. So it's also a good thing to know how to overcome that with clients, because it happens during client meetings. But we'll look here, we went over insights in my first video. We went over what ifs in my second video. So you can go back to eMoney Tip of the Week number 61 for insights, number 62 for what ifs. But if you come here to plans, this is a big change. And I'm actually going to take a step back out of Decision Center. We're going to go where it says go back to plans. When you come in here, this used to say scenarios. And so if you go back and listen to some of my other eMoney Tip of the Weeks, you're going to see scenarios on there. You're going to hear me say scenarios. And we talked a lot about how we always build a base scenario. By the way, I would never have this many. This is a sample client that I do all kinds of funny things with. Most of my clients typically only have alternatives, and they typically have a recommended plan. I do have one client I have like 16 scenarios for, and they're actually in order. So a lot of times if I want to turn one button on and have it to where I'm having a really detailed conversation and walking somebody down there, I will build those scenarios, are now called plans. Part of why eMoney did this, what is this supposed to be? These are supposed to be actionable plans. So remember, when we go into the Decision Center and you're in the base plan, that's the base plan. That's the client's financial plan without you helping them at all. It's showing them where they're at. And I always like to be under Monte Carlo summary. If I had my way, eMoney would default to that. I think, personally, lifetime portfolio value is a horrible, horrible, horrible place to have clients go. It's linear. It shows astronomical numbers. I don't care if you put in present value or not. Notice how I always try to, on my screen, depending on the size of my screen, I try to hide these numbers. The only time I really have a conversation with these, which is going to be my next eMoney Tip of the Week, is how I show clients to make their accounts more aggressive. Where currently, as I'm filming this in a bear market, only 6 bear markets since 1980, so that's a really common conversation we'll have, and I'll show that in another video. But if we look at this, under base facts, this is where the client is. The idea is, let me show you plans, Mr. or Mrs. Client, to get you to where you want to be. So this is where a lot of people will title these plans, save more, retire later, and build them out. I don't like to, because I like to have it conversational. In my last video, I talked about a lot of people are doing that with what ifs. You know, what if the kitchen sink happened? Let's throw the kitchen sink at this. What if the Great Depression happened? Those type of things. I like to have it very conversational. If you've seen any of my other eMoney Tip of the Weeks, I like to be able to turn buttons off and on with a client. It's going to stink right now, and you can see right here that I'm having problems with my internet, but typically it's pretty fast. Also, just a pro tip, I don't know if you know this or not, before a client comes in, if you can turn these buttons on and off, it will actually process them faster when you're in front of a client. That's something I do about 50% of the time, because sometimes I'm running into a meeting. But just this right here is to why I like to make this conversational. But here's a really cool part. So if you remember before, we used to have techniques, and we had advanced techniques. And the beautiful part about techniques was they were designed to be able to input quicker and in front of a client to have more of a conversation. And advanced techniques were designed to be by yourself or by a paraplanner somewhere, not in front of a client. If you got really fast with them, you can do them in front of a client. Well, now we have this manage here, and we can go to modify techniques or go to advanced planning. So now you can add these techniques right in the middle of a client meeting. But it also, if you remember with techniques, they wouldn't carry over to other areas. Now they do, and my favorite one for this is Social Security, because we used to have to build out Social Security for 62, Social Security for retirement age, and Social Security at 70. It would take a long time to do. But now what we can do is, we can come here. Green means add, red means remove, and blue means make a change. So we come in here and we put in Social Security. Now I put Social Security in here. We can hit done. And now when we come here, we can click on this, and right in here we can change these. But we can have Social Security and take and go in between the 2 different ones. I think this is phenomenal. So for example, we have 62 in there. Let's put full retirement age, Okay, it's estimated full retirement age. Let's go back and let's change it. So we're going to go manage, and we are going to go to rename. Oops, I apologize. You can tell I'm still getting used to this. I said that in one of my other videos, I don't want to come out with these yet because I'm still getting used to it. So it's right here in the modified techniques. So we put take Social Security at full retirement age. And now we can have, again, all these ones underneath here, where before I would have to create another scenario. Same with how what if solved that problem for premature death. This is huge. I love these. Another one I really want to highlight while I'm in here is I used to use techniques for the sell of a business. Sell of a business was really hard to show if you're working with small businesses and entrepreneurs when you were inside of advanced techniques. And I would actually build this out in techniques, and it would drive me nuts because I couldn't let it flow over to reports. Now they added these techniques and they put them inside of planning. This is a great update to eMoney. It makes it more conversational, it makes it all flow together, and it makes Decision Center the true hub of eMoney, because that's what it's all about. It's about helping your clients make informed decisions so that they can pursue their goals and live a fulfilling life. We hope this tip helped educate and empower you to do more plans for your clients so that you can impact more lives through financial planning. If you have some great tips we don't know about, we'd love to hear about them. If you have a better way of doing what we just showed you, we'd love to hear about that, because we are a noble profession, and together